If you're starting at 0, how do you get to 100? You move, right? Slowly but surely, one step at a time. Some things help you move faster. If you're a genius, if you're ruthless, or if you're good looking and charismatic and you know exactly what you want, in the middle of all of those things, you've got some of it, but not all of it. How do you build wealth then? Well, we have it here, okay? One step at a time. It doesn't all happen in your bank account, okay? You build it as you build yourself. So let's get into it. Starting off with a heavy hitter, number 1, the mindset. Now, don't let people tell you that changing your mindset or your core beliefs is one of the hardest changes to make. It's hard, sure, but not the hardest, because the process to change it is just a constant pushback on impulsive thoughts and temptations. You practice saying no to yourself, and you practice questioning yourself. The earlier you start this in life, the easier it becomes to mine out your bad money habits and replace them with good ones. And you can start this right now. So here's what you always have to remind yourself of. First of all, money is a tool, not the goal. Seeing money as a tool will help you to understand how to use it to create more money rather than just earning it to spend it. With that mindset, it's easier to take money from shopping and put it into investments because it doesn't feel like you're missing anything. Second, I'm playing the long game here. Building wealth is boring, okay? It takes a long time, and at first, it won't look like the needle is even moving at all. So you have to train yourself to be super, super patient. And third, I can learn anything I need to succeed at building wealth. Money can't hear your excuses, and it doesn't have the ability to feel sorry for you because you had a hard life with no financial education, okay? If other people can learn, then so can you. Number 2, the action. Now, over time, as you repeat those 3 sentences over and over, or you repeat your own made-up mantras about the wealth you want to build, you'll start noticing that some actions do become easier. Thinking of different income streams and being creative with how to make money aside from your normal job, it starts to feel like second nature. Thinking twice before swiping your card for an impulsive buy becomes normal. Finding cheaper ways to have fun and investing what you've saved, even if it's a small amount, becomes a normal part of your day. The actions are small and barely even noticeable at first. They're not a total personality overhaul or behavioral change. That takes some time, but those small actions still build up. Number 3, the behavior. Now, your very nature and the way you relieve stress and feel relaxed and happy changes. You see, right now, most people relieve stress by letting loose and doing something that costs money. Shopping, eating, treating themselves, a massage, going on a trip. These things add up, right? Especially when you're stressed like 3 times a day. As your mindset changes and then your actions change, the way you relieve those stressors will change too. You'll find peace in putting that money away rather than spending it. And then you'll get creative about how to deal with any emotional and mental challenges that come up. Bill Gates likes to read. Warren Buffett plays the ukulele. Jack Dorsey goes for a run. I mean, you need something that you can do that doesn't cost money. And once you have that, everything becomes a little bit easier. Number 4, the distribution of money. How will you spend your money when you're trying to build your fortune? No, really, how? In an ideal world, you're supposed to spend 30% of your salary on saving, 30% on rent, but you're trying to build a fortune here. Not merely do the bare minimum. The first thing you need to do is get a good job, one that will increase that contribution. Then you need a second job to increase it even more. Then you need to cut back on your spending. Then you need to invest in property so that you get accustomed to acquiring assets. That percentage distribution stays the same, but you increase the amount because of the work you're doing. Number 5, the vision. Now that you've carefully created a set of behaviors that automatically moves according to how you want to spend money, save, and invest, you've got your system there. And once you've got that, you start realizing just how important it is to generate more. And then you realize that to generate more, you can't be bound by time. You can get a second job, sure. That is extra income, but that is also capped. You need to figure out a way to burst through that earning ceiling. That's going to take some kind of vision, some ideas, something others might think is crazy. You don't need a business to build wealth. You don't have to be an entrepreneur. but it's going to accelerate your journey. Even if you don't succeed at first, which based on statistics, most people don't, you'll still learn so much about how people buy and spend and what it costs to run a company and the work it takes to build that wealth. Number 6, the enthusiasm. Listen, okay, it's going to be a crazy journey, and the only way you're going to make it is to get excited about it. The good, the bad, the setbacks, the comebacks. You're going to have to throw some enthusiasm into every corner. Taking on that second job so you can increase your investment. You better get excited. Starting a new business to be able to break the earnings glass ceiling. Find some joy in it, even when it's crazy. The fear and doubts are going to be there no matter what, okay? You have to push them back with enthusiasm and excitement about the future and what you're aiming to build. Number 7, weigh the risk. Look, anyone who's currently successful will tell you that their path was not a straight line to the top. Most of their stories will go kind of like this. They became successful, they thought they were safe and they celebrated, and then they lost it all and had to start over again. You have to take risks if you want to build wealth, and sometimes those risks are going to knock you over, but you worked your way up from nothing before, so it's easier to do it again. You have to become accustomed to taking risks. You can't let them stop you and hold you back. You're never going to reach your goals if you let that fear control you, which means you'll probably be telling the same story as other successful people. But hey, you'll be doing it from the top floor of your penthouse, so it all worked out in the end, right? So yeah, number 8, take the plunge. You spend 10 years slowly building your wealth with compounding investing, buying real estate as an asset, and then trying out 1 or 2 small businesses here and there to learn the ropes. There will be a moment when you look at your finances and realize that you're now well and truly on your way to financial freedom eventually. This is a real turning point because you realize that if you keep going at your current pace, you could be okay in the future. You could have a semi-decent nest egg, but if you push yourself and up the ante, you have the chance to multiply what you have in a much faster time period. So what do? Do you take the plunge and risk what you've built in the name of reaching your goal faster? Or do you decide to play it safe, even if it means falling short of your ultimate goal? You plunge, of course, because that is how you build. Number 9, experience the failure and the fall. Okay, so let's say you've been saving and investing for years and you've taken a risk that hasn't panned out. You're back at 0, except now you're older and you have to work through some of the shame, but eventually you realize you just have to keep on going. This is going to happen probably a few times throughout your life. You're going to put your money into an investment, win and lose some of it, put more of it in, and then something will happen that takes everything away from you. And it's not just in your investments or business. You might go through a divorce, a family health issue, a natural disaster that destroys your home. Even if you try to avoid risk, these things could happen. It's part of the experience of building your wealth. It's not going to be a continuous accumulation of money. There might be times when you have to take 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. And you have to get used to that feeling because you have to keep on going. Number 10, get to know the feeling of compounding. Now, this is the part where things start to change. All of those small, seemingly insignificant actions that you've been taking, they start to snowball. Your investments are growing, your income streams are stacking up, and your bank account looks different than it did a few years ago. You notice the shift, not just in your finances, but in your confidence. You're no longer just surviving, you're thriving. It's not magic, it's momentum. And while the rise feels good, don't let it trick you into thinking that you've made it. You're still in the game, and now the stakes are higher. And the rise isn't just financial, it's mental and emotional too. You feel calmer, more in control, and less reactive to setbacks. You've learned that a financial emergency isn't the end of the world because you've got a buffer now. You're building not just wealth, but stability. What's tricky about the rise is it can tempt you to get comfortable. This is when people start to relax, splurge, or feel like they've made it, but that's a trap, okay? The rise is not the finish line. It is a checkpoint. If you take your foot off the gas too early, you risk losing your momentum. So while you celebrate the progress, remind yourself there's still plenty more ahead. This is not the time to coast. It's the time to double down, to reinforce your habits, stay consistent, and keep learning. Number 11. Enjoy the success, take a breath, and let yourself feel proud of how far you've come, okay? You've earned the right to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Maybe you finally take that vacation or you upgrade something in your life that genuinely brings you joy. The key here is balance, okay? Celebrate your wins, but don't lose sight of the bigger picture. The goal isn't just to feel wealthy, it's to build lasting wealth that continues to work for you long after you stop working. Enjoying your success doesn't mean losing the discipline that got you here in the first place. It's not a free pass to blow through your progress or make impulsive decisions, okay? Instead, it's about intentional enjoyment. You can afford to upgrade your life, but only in ways that genuinely improve your quality of living. Spend on what matters to you, not what impresses others. The stage is also where you start to realize that success feels different than you imagined. The external rewards come with a confidence and freedom that you'll only get from financial stability. You feel lighter because you're no longer carrying the same weight of uncertainty, and that is a great feeling. Number 12, increase the distribution without strain. Now you've mastered living below your means, and now it's time to scale. As your income grows, you can increase the percentage going into investments and savings and even giving back. The trick is to do it without feeling like you're stretching too thin. Wealth building isn't just about sacrificing every comfort forever. It's about expanding your capacity without breaking the systems you've put in place. Think of it as fine-tuning, not overhauling. Maybe you used to save 20% of your income and now you can comfortably save 30% without feeling deprived. Maybe you've been investing in index funds and now you can diversify into real estate or starting a business idea. The point is to expand strategically, not recklessly. This stage is less stressful because you're no longer scraping by. You've built up a buffer, and now you're operating from a place of abundance. But abundance doesn't mean carelessness. Keep refining your systems, tracking your finances closely, and ensure that every extra dollar you earn is working for you in some way. Number 13, the investment in others. Now, real wealth isn't just about you. It's about the impact you have on the people around you. This is the stage where you start to lift others up, mentoring someone, finding a cause you care about, or simply creating opportunities for people in your circle. These investments pay dividends in ways that money cannot quantify. And the best part? Helping others grow often leads to unexpected opportunities for you too. Investing in others doesn't always look like writing a check either. Sure, it might mean funding someone's education, helping a family member start a business, or donating to causes you believe in. But it's also about the intangible investments: mentorship, guidance, and sharing lessons that you've learned the hard way. Think about the ripple effect here. When you mentor a young entrepreneur, you're not just helping them succeed. No, you're helping them create jobs in the future, contribute to the economy, and perhaps inspire others to follow their path. When you fund a scholarship, you're not just helping one student. You're opening up the door to opportunities for their family and future generations. Investing in others always circles back to you. The people you help might introduce you to new opportunities, partnerships, or perspectives that further enrich your life. Don't go into this expecting something in return. Instead, recognize that when you create value for others, it has a way of finding its way back to you in unexpected opportunities. Number 14, the empire. At this point, you're not just building wealth, you're building an empire. Your assets are diversified, your income streams are strong, and your vision has expanded. Maybe it's a business, a real estate portfolio, or a network of partnerships that keeps growing. Whatever it is, you've created something bigger than yourself, and it's designed to last. You're not just playing the game anymore, okay? You are shaping it. Number 15, the end, the legacy. All that work, all the risks, the failures, the victories, they've all led to this. You've built something meaningful not just for yourself, but for the people who come after you. Your legacy isn't just the wealth you leave behind, it's the values, lessons, and opportunities that you've passed on. The ultimate wealth isn't measured in dollars, okay? It's in the lives you've touched and the doors you've opened. This is the final step, but it's also the beginning of something that's going to last even long after you're gone. And that's all from us today. This one was a little different because sometimes we become so focused on the number on the screen that we forget what it even takes to get there. It's grit, determination, and resilience. And not everyone will understand what you're doing, but it will feel right to you, and that is the most important part. We'll see you back here tomorrow, my friend. For more inspiring and actionable content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and join our journey to success.